Radio 104.5 FM. I def them.
Cooler Runnings Restaurant, in association with the Cargill Community Project, presents our annual Customer and Community Appreciation Day 2023 to be held at Cooler Runnings Restaurant, 1802 Nearwood Avenue in the Bronx, from 12 p.m. until 7 p.m. with live broadcast on Future FM Radio 98.9 FM, music by DJ Ray Ray.
Live performances by Imani Tyson, Minister Andrea Derrett, Ras Bones, J Bez. Also 3 bands, Island Steel, Soul Jam, and Jenna Roots. Hosted by the dynamic duo, Patrick Tyson and yours truly, Lady D, Denise Gomez.
This event is powered by Future FM Radio 98.9 FM, Gospel Showcase Radio NYC, and Inside the Zone with Lady D.
Sponsored by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, Cargill Community Project,
Bronxwood International Church of God, Dirty Gloves, CJ Robbins Real Estate, Irie Dale,
and Sheffy 2 Restaurant. Bring the family. It's Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant and Cargill Community Project Annual Customer and Community Appreciation Day on Saturday, June 10th from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Make it a date and you better not be late.
See you there.
Cooler Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Nearwood Avenue, in association with the Cargill Community Project, presents our annual Spring Fish Fry on Saturday, May 20th, to be held at Cooler Runnings Jerk Center, 1785 Nearwood Avenue in the Bronx. Ticket donations $30. All proceeds will go to the Cargill Community Project. This event is from noon until 8 p.m. For tickets and more information, you can contact Cooler Runnings Restaurant at 718-324-7484 or 347-961-6785. That's 347-961-6785. And remember, this is our year-to-year Cargill Community Project Spring Fish Fry. Make it a date and you better not be late. See you there.
Hi, I'm Lady D Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing? Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Male Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me insidethezonelyc@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592.
Thursday. 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 Come to me. Come to me. Come to me. Oh, Thursday. I feel like I'm in the Shakespearean era. Those of us who did Macbeth and Chaucer and all those. Good evening, everyone. Hello. Today's what I call Balmy Thursday in spring. Many of us have been here for some time now, some long time, some not so long ago. However, how many of you can actually say that you've never seen the weather like this in spring? No. My God, you'd think that, we're in full-blown summer already. Oh, my goodness. Anywho, it is hot, so we're not going to pretend. We're broadcasting out of Mount Vernon, New York, and right now it's 85. 85. By the time I'm leaving, it will go down to 79. Good evening, everyone. I'm your host and producer, Lady D. Denise Gomez. Welcome to another edition of Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Broadcast on Linkage Radio 101.7, 104.5 FM, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, www.caribbeanvibesradio.com, Touch FM Radio, www.touchfmradio.com, and on the dial, it's Touch FM Radio 90.1. And on my YouTube channel, Inside the Zone with Lady D. Good evening. I had to turn the AC on a while ago. No joke. So I'd like to say good evening to everyone. I'm doing my intro right now, so you're going to have to hold your calls. I'm not able to take your calls right now. Good evening, everybody. Wherever you are, wherever you are, wherever you are. I mean, some parts are flooded. Then you have extreme heat. Oh. Welcome to Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. Here on Inside the Zone on a Thursday. Oh, wow. As you know, and if you did not, the show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. In the Bronx. Welcome, everyone. My sponsor, they would love to have you call them, 718-324-7484. That's 718-324-7484. Call them now. Go over, man. Support. If you did not know, Inside the Zone is a culture-centric radio program that connects the Jamaican diaspora and international audiences globally. The show's content captures its people's social, cultural, and collective views on issues that affect their communities: family, health, finance, education, immigration, housing, wealth management, life and health insurance, real estate, and food insecurity. Catch us on a Monday, 5 to 7 p.m. and Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. Right here on Linkage Radio, your budding and buzzing station, 24/7, 365 days for the year. 25 minutes after 6 o'clock. Do you know our telephone number? Well, I'd like to share it with you. Our number is 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. And If you are from a certain time, then it would be 914-600-4228. Hands up all those who know about not. 26 minutes after 6. What do I have in store for you this evening? It's the second Thursday feature of the show. And coming up in a few minutes, as always, you know, we have to kick off with our inspirational zone. We get our praise on. And it's followed by News Zone, a rebroadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. Music Zone this evening, it's Collab Music Thursday. Laughter is the best medicine, and this evening's special in Comedy Zone. I am slowly bringing back some of the features that I had put on hold, and so on second Thursday, 26 minutes after 6 o'clock. So I'd like to say hi to everyone. Of course, Mail Zone returns this evening at what time? 7 o'clock. Mail Zone, your emails are my priority. From the subject line, is it wrong to love my brother? Is it wrong to love my brother? Yeah, is it wrong to love my brother? And to wrap up the Artist Zone this evening, of course, the messages in their music. That's my tagline. My guest will be Patrice Moore, a.k.a. Pat Lamore, singer, songwriter, musician, music teacher, ordained music minister, and worship leader extraordinaire. She joins me at 7:30. Good evening, everyone. It's now time for us to get our praise on, but I'd just like to say a very special good evening to those of you who are tuned in on 104.5, 101.7, 90.1, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, all the good stuff, people who are popping in, and then you're going to be inviting people to watch me live on the YouTube channel. Those of you who are on, if you are new, please type new in the chat. If it's your first time that you're here, type new in the chat because I want to know who you are and where you're watching us from. Please type new in the chat, and I would just love to talk to you. So, Inspirational Zone, how about it? You feel like getting your praise on? You want to join me? I'd love to have you. A new release by
what can I do, Lord? I feel no shame to say your name, Lord. I feel joy when I'm worshiping you, like there's nothing in this world to do but to give you praise. It never pains me to say your name. I can lift the mountain with you, 'cause I'm high and faith. I can swim the deepest ocean, 'cause I'm in your grace. I can tell you it's amazing, feeling cool like I'm under shade, even with the trials I'm facing.
Yes, the voice of Kevin Heath out of Jamaica.
To make it to heaven. So how can I serve you better?
Okay, so we continue with the show. Not sure what happened there.
But in the meantime, it is Inspirational Zone, and you know I'm always a Plan B lady. So I'm just going to say hi to those of you who are celebrating your birthday. And if it's your wedding anniversary, happy anniversary to you. Wherever you are tuning in to us from, I would like to say hi to you. And something happened, spectacular happened. I wonder. Well, if you'd like to share it with me, I'm here. Oh, Lord, if you'd like to share with me, then let me know. Okay, so Inspirational Zone is coming up. Not to worry. Here we go.
What can I do, Lord? I feel no shame to say your name. Lord, I feel joy when I'm worshiping you. Like there's nothing in this world to do but to give you praise. It never pains me to say your name. I can lift the mountain with you, 'cause I'm high in faith. I can swim the deepest ocean, 'cause I'm in your grace. I can tell you it's amazing, feeling cool like I'm under shade. Even with the trials I'm facing, I still want to make it to heaven. So how can I serve you better? Saying your name brings pleasure, and I will stand through any weather. My faith is stronger than leather, and I'll share it with sisters and brothers, 'cause you are the beginning and end. You are my family and friend, my creator and many more. You are my windows, roof and door. You are now and forevermore. You are the wind beneath the bird's wings. You are everything, not something. So I know I can lift the mountain with you, 'cause I'm high in faith. I can swim the deepest ocean, 'cause I'm in your grace. I can tell you it's amazing, feeling cool like I'm under shade. Even with the trials I'm facing, I still want to make it to heaven.
That's Kevin Heath with Strong Faith. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. I'd like to say hi to DL. How are you? Good evening to you. DL, you wouldn't happen to be calling my designer frame Granny Glasses, would you? Don't start with me. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Yes, so in the chat, they're talking about the extreme weather conditions that, the nation is experiencing. Florida is washing away, and we're having extreme heat over on this end. And I did ask the question, in all the years that you have been here, have you ever experienced heat in April like this? Because we're in spring, and the spring-like conditions have not been able to show itself because heat is permeating throughout some parts of the country, which is very difficult for many people. And if you don't have AC at this time, and when the summer months kick in, please, you have to try and get AC, because shortly before I had to excuse myself from the camera and go turn the AC on, I felt as though I was going to burn up. I tell people I have no plans for hell. Hell is not my portion. I ain't going down there, because that would be continuous heat. That's right. We need to remember who run things. So good evening, everyone. 6:37 p.m. Welcome to Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. I'm happy to be here with you. I had a very interesting, oh my word, my finger. Oh, chucks. I had an interesting week, and I've not accomplished what I should accomplish. Chucks. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just want to say it's 61 degrees here in Atlanta, but you're saying it's 85 degrees here in
Yes, we're
Mount
on.
Vernon. I'm really surprised, because I'm closer to the equator here than you are.
Yes, it's now 85 here in Mount Vernon.
61 here.
Well, we could do with that, but then we won't get that until Saturday with some rain. So rain should be coming in on Saturday, and we'll dip a bit into the 60s. We'll be in a high of 67, and then next week we roll into the 50s again. So, the equator is busy.
Well, Fort Lauderdale is flooded. The airport is closed in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. Well, I tell you. So you're good, though, MS. Nice to hear your voice.
Good, okay.
Oh.
I continue to listen.
All right, thank you. All righty, 914-600-4228. Let me get on with rebroadcast of the news, courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. DL, what are you over here saying? Oh, Lordy, I would have you leave me be. Go away. Welcome to this evening's rebroadcast of the news, ladies and gentlemen.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, April 13, 2023. Jamaica's inflation rate is on the decline. Data from the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, shows that inflation, which peaked at 11.8% in April 2022, fell to 7.8% in February this year. Senior Deputy Governor at the Central Bank, Dr. Wayne Robinson, says this has resulted from the BOJ's monetary policy actions as well as lower imported commodity prices.
We actually responded very swiftly and very early and very decisively to the increased inflation that we've been seeing, which was actually spurred by rising inflation globally. Now, as a result of our policy actions, along with the fact that we have been seeing a lowering in the prices of some international commodities over the past 10 months or so, we have been seeing a general reduction in the rate of inflation.
Dr. Robinson was speaking at a JIS think tank last week. One of the measures taken by the Bank of Jamaica to manage inflation was raising the policy interest rate it pays on account balances of deposit-taking institutions. This is in addition to reducing the volume of Jamaican dollar liquidity in the banking system. There was also strong intervention to sell U.S. dollars in the foreign exchange market, which has kept the Jamaican dollar stable. Still, BOJ's senior deputy governor says inflation of 7.8% remains too high, and the central bank will continue taking the necessary monetary policy actions to reach government's target range of 4 to 6% by the end of this year. Dr. Robinson says the BOJ is paying keen attention to risks that could negatively impact this projection. These include global oil prices, labor market conditions, and natural disasters.
The news will resume in a few seconds. It's now 6:41 p.m. Welcome to Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect, right here on Inside the Zone with Lady D Denise Gomez. I just want to make a quick public service announcement before I do that.
Services of security companies that adhere to the 2022 Supreme Court ruling to regard security guards as employees and not contract workers. Minister with responsibility for information, Robert Morgan, reiterated the position as he addressed this week's post-cabinet press briefing on Wednesday. The ruling came into effect this month and allows security guards to access the full benefits of entitlements under the law. Minister Morgan says this is one of the most significant transformations in labor relations in Jamaica.
We're now able to move over 40,000 people to, for example, get an NHT benefit. They can now get proper pension and health care, all of those obligations to make them a part of the society, to make them a part of the economy.
He says the government is aware of the challenges involved in adhering to the new dispensation ushered in by the Supreme Court ruling and is committed to working with all parties to ensure security guards receive the benefits they should.
There will be challenges, as we see, with any major shift in labor relations. There will be teething pains, but the government is very cognizant of what is happening. We're very conscious of the concerns on both sides, and I assure you that the Cabinet and the Minister of Labour and Social Security are very focused on it and working to make sure that those are ironed out.
During the briefing, the minister outlined a number of security-related agreements recently approved by Cabinet. They include a $174 million contract with Ranger Protection and Security Company Limited, or Hawkeye. The company is being contracted by the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation to provide security services for the municipality. King Alarm Services Limited is also being engaged to provide security for the University of Technology. The contract, valued at $210 million, is for 2 years. Also coming out of this week's post-cabinet briefing, Jamaicans are being strongly cautioned against illegal travel through the Central America route. The warning comes from Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith. Official data from the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, show that between 2018 and March 31, 2023, 143 Jamaicans were refused entry to Mexico and 2,167 to Panama. 81 Jamaicans were also deported from Panama during the same period. Figures from Belize are being verified by PICA. Minister Johnson-Smith says although the numbers are relatively small, they are of concern to the government.
The government of Jamaica, however, does continue to consult at varying different levels with our partners in Belize, Mexico, and Panama. We are very concerned that Jamaicans are taking decisions to travel in circumstances that are extremely risky, and in some cases taking children with them, exposing them to dangerous situations including kidnapping, trafficking, and even death.
She says that while most Jamaican travelers do so lawfully and for legitimate
6:44 p.m. I must apologize. We're experiencing some interruptions.
Experience of all who travel with the national passport.
We're increasing the security within the passport, embedded in the passport, to ensure that it cannot be replicated, that our border control procedures are stronger, our customs processes are stronger. All of these things are to seek greater facilitation of movement with a Jamaican passport. And actions and decisions like this they really do fight against the efforts of the government, and they do affect the reputation of the passport and the immigration experience of our lawful travelers.
The Foreign Affairs Minister warns that with Panama being the route of entry to Mexico and Belize, heightened surveillance measures have been put in place in that country. Immigration officials in Panama are also trained to detect coached responses during their immigration interviews. In other news, more than 120,000 Jamaicans have received life-saving treatment and care under the government's Enhancing Healthcare Services Delivery Project at a cost of over $3 billion. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton outlined the achievement during a recent function to hand over medical equipment to the University Hospital of the West Indies. The public-private partnership arrangement was instituted in September 2019. Through it, patients in the public health sector have benefited from free diagnostic services such as CT scans, MRIs, ultrasounds, mammograms, and fluoroscopic studies through private providers.
We have saved hundreds and thousands of lives. The PPP
Okay, we just have a few minutes left
remains useful and
for the news.
Should be given some credit.
I do apologize.
For helping a lot of Jamaicans.
The Enhancing Healthcare Services Delivery Project is part of the Health Ministry's strategy to reduce wait times at public healthcare facilities. And finally, the National Water Commission, NWC, is considering the use of treated wastewater to fight fires. Acting Corporate Public Relations Manager at the NWC, Delana Williams, says this is to ensure that water remains available to the nation's firefighting unit, particularly during periods of drought. He assures that in situations where large volumes of water are needed to extinguish fires, the NWC will move with urgency to facilitate the demand without compromising customers. The Jamaica Fire Brigade has access to the Mona Reservoir, one of the NWC's largest raw water storage facilities, to equip the helicopters for fighting fires in remote locations. The Commission has also collaborated with the brigade to repair and maintain fire hydrants across the island. Commissioner of the JFB, Stuart Beckford, recently informed JIS News that 1,056 fire hydrants across the island were repaired in 2022. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. If you're just joining me, it's Center Stage this evening, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. It's a pleasure having you, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's a second Thursday feature, and I must say that it's a pleasure having you.
Anyway,
I couldn't do the show without you, just in case you're all wondering. Can you imagine if I came here and not a soul talked to me? That would be very, very serious. Cause for concern. Did you say a prayer for somebody today? Lord, I need it. Have you ever been doing something and it's like you're not grasping it and you're doing it and you're like, what on earth? I'm not getting it right. That has been my situation for the past 3 days. But you know what? I'm an overcomer and I'm going to do that thing and get it done and send it off. But I'm telling you, today I just sat there looking at my Mac screen and saying, I don't know what I'm doing. Locks. Some days. music. That's my guy. I love Christopher Martin. I'm not lying. I love him. Everything he does, it's always well done. So I'd like to say good evening to everyone. It's Center Stage. What's going on in your area? I would love to hear. I know we are talking about the weather and so on, but I came across this. Where is it? This headline. I must apologize. I intended to air my comedy zone this evening, but in the interest of time, I will not be able to accomplish that or achieve that. And so I'm just going to do a filler this evening. But where is it? Let me find it very quickly, because I don't know. Invariably do I pick up certain headlines, but I believe this made news and it is true. Come on, Lady D, where is the thing? Shucks. Let me do a search, but it's a headline concerning the Dalai Lama. Did you hear about this one? So let me read this for you. And this was on CNN. So, as graphic as it may sound, the headline read on that day, which was Tuesday, April 11, and it was carried by CNN. Dalai Lama apologizes after video asking child to suck his tongue sparks outcry. Let me share that with you. Did you hear of it? All right. It reads, out of New Delhi, the Dalai Lama has apologized after a video emerged showing the spiritual leader kissing a child on the lips and then asking him to suck my tongue at an event in northern India. In a statement Monday, the Office for the Dalai Lama said he wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused, adding he regrets the incident. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent... Oh, go away. Goodbye. Sorry about that. Hurtful words he may have caused, and I read that for you. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public and before cameras, the statement said. His apology comes after a video of the exchange, which took place during an event in the hillside city of Dharamshala in February, went viral on social media, with many users criticizing the Dalai Lama's actions. In the video, the young boy can be seen approaching the Nobel Peace Prize winner before asking, "Can I hug you?" The 87-year-old spiritual leader then invites the boy on stage and points to his cheek and says, "First, here," prompting the boy to give him a hug and a kiss. The Dalai Lama then points to his lips and says, "Then, I think finally here also." He then pulls the boy's chin and kisses him on the mouth. "And suck my tongue," he says after a few seconds, poking out his tongue. The identity of the boy is not known. He was at an event with the M3M Foundation, the philanthropic arm of Indian real estate company M3M Group, based in Dharamshala, where the Dalai Lama lives in permanent exile. CNN has reached out to the M3M Foundation for comment. In response to the incident, prominent Delhi-based child rights group Hack Center for Child Rights told CNN in a statement it condemns all forms of child abuse. It added, "Some news refers to Tibetan culture about showing tongue, but this video is certainly not about any cultural expression, and even if it is, such cultural expressions are not acceptable." Some of the Dalai Lama's supporters have decried the criticism, however, arguing the leader's actions have been misinterpreted under a Western lens. Quote, "Expression of emotions and manners today has been melted together and become vividly westernized." End quote. Namdol Lagari, a Tibetan activist in exile, wrote on Twitter, bringing in a narrative of other cultures, customs, and social influence on gender and sexuality to interpret Tibetan way of expression is heinous. Sticking out one's tongue is a sign of respect of agreement and was often used as a greeting in traditional Tibetan culture, according to the Institute of East Asian Studies at the University of California, Berkeley. The current Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, is the world's best-known living Buddhist figure. The principal spiritual leader of the Yellow Hat School of Tibetan Buddhism, the Dalai Lama is revered by millions as the reincarnation of his 13 predecessors. The spiritual leader has been based in India since 1959, following an unsuccessful Tibetan uprising against Chinese occupation. He later established a government in exile in the northern Indian city of Dharamshala, leading thousands of Tibetans who followed him there. February's incident isn't the first time. The octogenarian has sparked controversy in recent years. He apologized after a 2019 interview with the BBC, during which he said if a female Dalai Lama should succeed him, she should be more attractive. The previous year, he suggested Europe should be kept for Europeans when speaking about the rising level of African refugees entering the continent. The whole Europe will eventually become Muslim country? Impossible. Or African country? Also impossible, he said, adding that it's better to keep Europe for Europeans. Interesting. And so, the argument is the Western people need to keep out of their business. What they do in their culture is what they do in their culture. I think that was a little extreme if you're going to stick your tongue out to a child, a boy, in this instance, and saying, and also suck my tongue too. What is that? Oh, Lord, help. But again, cultures vary, but that has sparked an outcry. And it happened, I tell you, about digital media. It will come back to haunt you. May we all manage ourselves in the digital space wisely, because this happened in February, and yet they were able to go and dig it up pretty much. I'd like to say good evening to everyone. It's 1 minute and counting to 7 o'clock. And this evening, of course, I'll be airing Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority. Good evening, everybody. Where are you watching from? I'd like you to post. Those of you who are on my YouTube channel, just post where you're watching me from. And let me say, shout out to you. If it's your first time and you're rolling through the chat room, I'd like you to subscribe, like, and share my channel. And then I'll be able to say, oh, it's 7 o'clock. Shucks. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority.
Always brand new, right from the jump. We had a hunch that we had everything. Perfect combination, love plus unity. A perfect combination. We couldn't ask for any better. Perfect combination.
Welcome to the feature this evening of Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority, and right now I'd like to hop on over to our mailbox. Alrighty, we've got mail and my PSA this evening. Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, courtesy of Chris Wilby. He will not be able to air his program at 8 p.m. this evening, so he will be doing a rebroadcast of this evening's show right here on Center Stage on Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Good evening, Mr. Chris Wilby. Thank you. Let's get into or mail. From the subject line, is it wrong to love my brother? Dear Lady D, I'm frustrated with my brother's girlfriend. He met her less than 3 months ago and is already discussing marriage. Honestly, Lady D, I'm from Jamaica and moved here 3 years ago. The way people fall in and out of love here is beyond me. My brother is handsome and a lot of girls drool over him. I, on the other hand, am very skeptical of them because he's smart and owns his own company. What I don't like about this whole relationship is that he is constantly buying her things and she's always at our house. Recently, he brought her an expensive piece of jewelry, and even my dad had to ask him if he's sure about her and why he's spending so much money on her. Honestly, Lady D, I have never seen my brother so smitten about a woman like her. Last week, I followed her to a mall, and I saw her having dinner with a man. I watched them for some time, and I really did not like the way they looked at each other. It was just too intimate. So, as his elder sister, I decided to tell my brother, but when I did, he was livid. I tried telling him that she was two-timing him, but he would not listen to me. Because I was sure of what I saw, I decided to confront her about it, which she flatly denied. Of course, she told him, and we had a big argument. I know my parents did not raise a fool, and right now, he is acting like one. My mother says I am too possessive about my brother, but honestly, Lady D, I love my brother, and there's no way I will allow a woman who is cheating on him to get away with it. I flat out told him not to marry her, but he's not listening to me and tells me to go find my own man. And yes, I'm not seeing anyone, but that does not mean he should make the biggest mistake of his life. What is so upsetting is that my parents are not stepping in and talking sense into their son's head, and now I look like the bad guy. Lady D, is it wrong to love my brother and prevent him from getting hurt? That's it for this evening's letter. From the subject line, is it wrong to love my brother? Don't forget to email me your story at InsideTheZoneNYC@gmail.com. InsideTheZoneNYC@gmail.com. You may call me. The lines are open. I'd like to hear what's your take. And by the way, most of these people, when they send me their emails, they know that they're going to listen. They are going to listen. And so they listen to you, whether you are thinking they're forming the fool or not. They listen. And so I am hoping that, alrighty, I know the calls were going to voicemail because I could not have picked up at that time. You all have to kind of listen. Good evening. Welcome to Mail Zone.
Oh, hi.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Hi, good evening.
Good evening to you, DL. How you do?
I am okay so far.
Okay.
Good to know the calls coming through because we were going to voicemail.
No, I was reading. So.
Okay. Here's the thing about this Dalai Lama thing.
Oh, so you missed the Dalai Lama segment, so now I'm in Mail Zone. Go ahead.
I don't understand what's going on because I'm listening to you and watching you live, so why am I behind?
I don't know. Not sure. Why?
I can hear you now playing music.
Oh, well, we passed there, so not to worry. Go ahead.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
strange.
Maybe you should refresh or something.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Regard to Dalai Lama, that's only have I heard about it. I saw the whole video on CNN,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, I had my disgust about it
Mm-hmm.
until I learned another segment that it's a cultural thing, and then I had to back up on that and said, you know what? That is why the whole this is very important for us to learn as best and as much as we can about other culture, because
Mm-hmm.
we are looking at them through our cultural and ignorant lenses.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And I'm certain that Americans, Jamaicans do things that are cultural norms, and other people find it just as revolting.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we can use the analogy of what we eat,
Mm-hmm. Right.
What we eat, other people don't eat, or other people eat, we don't eat, but it doesn't mean that it is wrong, just that it's just not our thing, we're not into that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
There are people who find eating goat very revolting,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And
so Susumba.
Correct. And exactly. There you go. Perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Aki.
Right.
So, we have to have an understanding of cultural norms and differences
Yeah.
before we jump the gun,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes. Fair enough.
If it's cool with them in Tibet, that's okay. That's their thing.
Mm-hmm. But
know.
again, they were saying that here in the Western world, we took a position. We took an offense
Yes, because
to it.
we're taking a position based on Western world norm.
Right.
Just quickly, just like I was watching a series on CNN called with Eva Longoria discovering Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a part in one of the states named Oaxaca,
Mm-hmm.
and there are some a certain set of people. They all dressed up in colorful clothes and necklaces and beads and roses in hair and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out that they are saying you couldn't distinguish the men from the women.
Mm.
And one of them said to Eva, here we can be like three sexes.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh dear.
yeah.
Okay. That's a whole lot
So we'll
going
figure it
on
out.
there. That's a whole lot going on there. My poor little mind. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm,
So
I can't
Eva
wrap my
said,
mind around it.
What do you mean? So he said, we're not homosexual, not heterosexual. It's strange.
Yes.
Look
yes.
at him in absolute
Shock.
shock.
Bewildered.
but bewildered. But he said that's just how we are in our tribe or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And the world doesn't understand it, and it's okay.
That's true.
That's just our thing.
So all right. So thank you for sharing your take on that. Did you hear the letter this evening, or you were so delayed you didn't hear?
Yeah, I'm so behind.
Oh Lord, maybe you should go refresh.
I'm going to refresh, but I don't understand. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
All right, no problem.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anyway.
All righty. 914-600-4228. It is Mail Zone. Did you hear the letter I read this evening? Here is a sister who feels that her brother, having met a woman in less than 3 months, is considering marriage, and she don't like the girl. In addition to that, she trailed the girl one day, and the woman went and met another man, and she thought that the setting was a little bit too intimate and that there was something going on. So she told her brother, and he tell her off. And of course, you know, the girl also told the boyfriend, which is her brother, and so she's in hot water with them. But she feels that her brother will make a mistake, and she feels that her parents are not helping her to kind of convince him. He's a grown man. So what's your take? 914-600-4228. Good evening. Welcome to Mail Zone. My name is Denise Gomez.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Amos.
Yes, the thing is that the sister is trying to do her best, but the proverbial saying, don't trouble trouble until it troubles you.
Oh, Lord.
If you see that things are going wrong and you impart the information to your relatives and your brother,
Mm-hmm.
move away from the situation. Let him deal with it after you have advised him about what the problem that might be.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say to her, don't trouble trouble until it troubles you.
Yes. Because he's not listening. He's in love, I guess. Smitten. And
She did a good thing. She told his parents, told him, and if he continues to do what he's doing,
then it's on him, right?
Or don't let it bother her anymore. Let's leave it alone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I hear you. Boy, it's tough. Sometimes you see people going down a path, and you tell them, but they insist on going down that path anyway.
Yeah, he has to make up his own mind, and if he can't make up his own mind, too bad.
Yes, fair enough. Thank you, MS.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye. 914-600-4228. What's your take? 914-600-4228. How much meddling as siblings should we do? And it's not meddle. Let me not use that word. You know, you love your family, and if you realize that they are about to make a mistake, especially if you have some kind of a proof. Maybe she didn't take pictures, so there is no evidence. She didn't disclose that. But, you know, she actually saw something that she didn't like. How many of us have had that experience where we are trying to tell our family members, don't do something, especially in a marriage, and they go ahead and marry, and before you know it ends. It folds. Because it should not have happened in the first place, especially if there is deception at the core of it. Give me a call, 914-600-4228. In the meanwhile, you know, do we always have perfect combinations? No, we don't. And at 7:30 p.m., I will be having my Artist Zone, second Thursday. Yes, we're back to that. And Pat Lamore, she is Patrice Moore. She's dubbed Pat Lamore. She's a singer, songwriter, musician, music teacher, ordained music minister, and worship leader extraordinaire. We'll be talking to her. 7:15 p.m. Stick and stay with me. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. Welcome to the show. And of course, if you'd like to advertise with me.
Hi, I'm Lady D. Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing. Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you.
Stay online, my caller.
Story, no man, in From the Author Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Mail Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a a part of the show. Email me insidethezone@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592.
My caller, are you there? Alrighty, you may give me a call back at 914-600-4228. 914-600-4228. A lot of times, whether it's family or friend, people don't like us meddling. They feel that we are meddling, and they take a position that you shouldn't even. Why did you even follow the person? Why did you have to do that? Because the less they know, they feel as if they're in a safe space, a safe haven. They say what you don't know won't hurt you. We don't know about that, because after a while, if it continues and it comes to light, or we say bust out, it will hurt you. I don't know where we get them saying they're from. Like they would tell us, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And we would say that with such pride, but it's not true. People don't hurt you with words. Of course they do. 914-600-4228. I would like to hear your voices. Where are you? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to my YouTube channel, Inside the Zone with Lady D. I'm on there right now, and I have my audience there. I'd like to say hi. Jackie says, me, Jackie. Good evening, Jax. Good evening to Drea. Good evening to DL. Good evening to Vero. Good evening to Sherns. Let's see who wants to talk to me this evening. Good evening. Welcome to Mail Zone.
Lady D, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, Mr. Chris Wilby. It's a good day. How are you doing?
All right, I tell you, it was hot today. Hot.
It's not hot anymore.
It's cooling down a little bit.
Yeah, I call it balmy Thursday.
We weren't as hot as you guys over there, because we went up a little over 70 over here.
Oh, then that high. That
but
no hot.
Talking about,
that no hot, Chris.
I hear you talking about 85. Yeah, it's hot when you have to work outside in the sun. I mean.
Okay.
Because
right now I'm in Mount Vernon, and it's 83.
Yeah, that's hot. That's wicked hot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, I'll be quick.
Yes.
The lady in Mail Zone.
Mm-hmm.
I have a different take on the situation, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I think people should just learn to mind their own business.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because sometimes as family members, we tend to overprotect, and it causes problems.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, the in-laws,
mm-hmm.
they make problems when there is no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody is ever good enough for their sons, daughters, brothers, sisters.
Mm-hmm.
They're always meddling. And so I say, if you, why did she feel the need to go and follow this young lady?
Mm-hmm.
And then she is coming back, because when your mind is set a certain way, you see things that sometimes isn't necessarily there. Mm-hmm. Because she, in her mind, wants to shed a negative light.
Mm-hmm.
And if this was such a situation where she didn't like what she see, we're in the age of cell phone and all of that, you don't think that she would snap some pictures just for her brother to see?
That's what I was saying.
Do not believe that there was any there. But from the beginning, she does not like this girl, and the fact that her brother is spending so much money on the girl, she's upset about it, and that is how I interpret it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, again, I did say that she doesn't have any proof because she did not state whether she took photographs or anything like that. So
Right.
her going to ramble, she has nothing to show. She has
Right.
no evidence to show. But I hear you.
Yeah, so she need to just leave him. Okay, you don't like certain things, you voice your opinion. Just leave it at that, and allow him. He's a grown man. Allow him to do whatever, and make his own mistake.
You're right.
That's how grown people are. A lot of times, these people, they believe they're helping, and they're not necessarily helping. I have seen so many of these relationships blossom into beautiful things when mothers never like this one and father never like and sister never like, and sometimes it's nothing, it's all in their imagination.
That is right. That is true. It's good to hear you, Chris Welby.
All right, Lady D, have a
And
good
oh,
evening.
just
Nice show as
to
usual.
thank you. Just to remind our listeners and viewers that Chris will not be airing his program on Caribbean Vibes Radio Network this evening. However, in place of his show in the 8 o'clock hour, 8 p.m. that is this evening, he will be doing a rebroadcast of Center Stage with yours truly, Lady D. Thank you, sir.
All right.
All righty.
Have a good one.
You too. Okay, it is 23 minutes now after what time? After 7 o'clock. How is this Eastern Standard Time working for you again? Because when I get home in the evenings, before I know it, it is time to go to my bed. And I have to sit up. Last night I went to bed almost 2 because I had to prep show. I have other projects that I am working on. And I'm like, oh God, it's almost 2 o'clock. And I don't go to my bed yet. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Lady D, and good evening to everyone.
Hey,
I'm
Pat.
blessed. How about you?
Patricia.
Yes, I'm in the house. yes. I was listening to the dialogue between you and Brother Chris, and I totally agree with everything he says. And I'm just going to add my 2 cents too. You know, it's okay to love your family, to love your brother. We don't want to see our family get hurt, but you know, sometimes they have to get hurt because this girl, she loves her brother, and I believe she's somewhat jealous of that woman whom the brother is dating. We don't know what's the reason. Maybe it's someone she knew in the past. Maybe she's just jealous of, you know, the closeness that her brother is exhibiting. Maybe she loves her brother too much, you know, in a different sense. But the thing is, if he's a grown man, allow him to make his mistakes, because obviously she did not have her proof. And, you know, we're in the age wherein she should have use her cell phone and taking some pictures if she claims what she saw. But obviously she could be making up the story. And so going to the brother with it, the brother is just going to ostracize her. And so she's now very disgruntled. But I really do hope that, you know, her and her brother, they can make some form of amends. And things will work out, you know, between him and the girlfriend. Because if the girlfriend is playing him, let him get her.
Yeah.
You know, at least later on he will be able to say, you know, my sister tried to tell me, but I was just too blind. Because as the saying goes, love is blind. When you're in love, you only see the spark.
Oh, dear.
You know, no one can tell you otherwise. So he will in turn have to learn, and hopefully he can pick up the pieces from his broken heart and move on. But let's hope that the relationship that he's aspiring to keep, let's hope it will work.
Thanks,
Okay,
Pat.
because that's all we can ask for.
True. Thank you so much, Pat. Enjoy the weekend.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
All righty. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. We're winding down. 7:26 p.m. at 7:30. I will be having an interview with Patrice Moore, a.k.a. Pat L'Amour. she's one of those multi-talented persons in the music business. Yes, so we'll be talking to her. That's a wrap for Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority. And let me take this from the top.
Two hearts together, we're a harmony so right. Two sparks united, we're a fire burning bright.
For the truth, always brand new. Right from the jump, we had a hunch that we had everything. Perfect combination. Love plus you and me. A perfect combination. We couldn't ask for any better. Perfect combination.
It's so good to be here with you on a Monday and Thursday. I'm telling you, this is my space where I do what I love to do.
Together.
I could sit before a microphone or even before a camera and just talk to people, have conversations with people, ongoing with intermittent breaks naturally. But I could just do that, just that alone. Yeah.
We are a special pair.
Right on time. We're two of a kind.
King, I hope you'll be feeling better soon. I'm so sorry about what you're going through.
Perfect combination.
Andrea says maybe she was saying goodbye. Oh, okay. We don't know, Drea. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy.
Perfect combination. We think to a T. A perfect combination. With all it takes to last forever. Together. We can conquer any mountain.
Oh, baby.
Just as long as we're together. 'Cause as one, we are an endless fountain, overflowing with love. Perfect love. Perfect combination. Love like you and me. Perfect combination. We couldn't ask for any better. We fit to a T. A perfect combination. With all it takes to last forever. Perfect combination.
Perfect,
Love like you and me. A perfect combination. We couldn't ask for any
They're just some songs that they're just timeless, you know? This is one of those. Let me go to the phone line. Good evening. Welcome to Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Hello.
Hi, good night.
Good evening.
Good night.
How are you, Pat?
I'm doing awesome. How about you?
I am well. It's been a busy season, but you know, I am forever grateful, so I'm not going to complain. I'll just say what the issue is, but I will keep moving. How do you do? It's our first time talking together on air. So I'd like to welcome you to my show.
Yes.
Yes, Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Where are you talking to me from right now?
Okay, so I'm sitting in, believe it or not, rainy, the rainy sunshine city of Florida.
Yes, we were having a bit of
Yes.
a discussion, you know, just passing through, everybody sharing what they're observing about what's happening. So
Yes,
while you're
yes.
having flood in your area, we're having extreme heat in our area.
Man, the weather is so unpredictable these days.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Artist Zone. The message is in their music. My guest this evening, Patrice Moore, aka or dubbed Pat Lamore, singer, songwriter, musician. Wow, I'm just going through everything that she does. She singer, songwriter, musician, music teacher, ordained music minister, and worship leader extraordinaire. I am telling you. And it is a pleasure having you. It's a pleasure having you, Pat, because, you know, I do get people from all walks of life in respective
Right.
disciplines. And, you know, I'm always appreciative of who they are, what they bring to the table as individuals and all of that. So welcome to Inside the Zone. I must kick it off by saying hi, and who would you like to say hello to before we start?
All right. Well, first, let me say a big thank you to you, Lady D, and the Inside the Zone family. I'm so honored to be here this evening. And tonight, I just want to give a shout out to all of my family and friends out there, especially to my pastors, Apostle Tyrone Thompson and Pastor Debbie Thompson. I want to say a big shout out to my family there in Jamaica and here in the United States. A lot of friends and family who I know are always cheering me on. And of course, my Bahamian family as well. I just want to say a big thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight and for you having me. Thank you.
You say Bahamian family. Okay.
Well, I don't have Bahamian relatives by blood, but I lived there for a number of years, and I have lots of friends and music associates there as well.
Got you. I wonder if you'd happen to know the name Glenn Johnson.
Yes, I know that name very well.
So do I.
Yes.
Yes, wonderful. So, if I should ask you, who is Pat Moore? Patrice Moore. Who is Pat Lamore?
Right. Well, it's kind of complex to describe who I am.
Okay.
But I am for most people who know me, I'm a people person. I am a singer, songwriter, like you stated. I've been a worship leader for pretty much all my life. I've been singing from I was a toddler in the house of the Lord. I am a musician. I am a singer. I'm a mother. I am all of the above. And I'm a sister. I have 4 wonderful sisters and a brother who I know are always there cheering me on. And of course, my parents' daughter. There's so many sides to me.
Yes.
And yeah, so it's kind of hard to sum it up in one word, but I'm all of those things.
You're all of
I'm
those
a very friendly person, so lots of people would see that about me.
Nice, nice. Now, let's dissect the following: singer, songwriter, musician, music teacher, ordained music minister, and worship leader. Now, you're quite the accomplished woman. But I'd like to know how you managed to accomplish all of these things. Some people could have only stopped at singer and didn't go any further.
You are right. It's only by the grace of God, and this didn't happen overnight. So when it comes to singing, I am from a musical family. Relatives on both my mother's side as well as my father's side. Shout out to the Mighties and the Moors.
Right.
We have lots of singers and musicians within my family, so singing kind of just grew with me. I started singing from a very tender age in church, and it kind of just grew with me. As it relates to songwriting, I kind of picked up that skill from my father. He's a awesome songwriter and a singer as well, and I used to just be awed by the kind of songs he would write. He's a person who writes songs about, you know, his love for the Lord as well as the struggles that we go through, and it always, you know, I can't even recall when I started writing, but I was writing from I was very young. I wrote little songs for church and otherwise. When it comes to musician again, I kind of honed my craft in church, growing up in church. My godfather taught me the first 3 chords I knew on the guitar, and from there I just kept going and going and playing in church and otherwise, and then I learned the keyboard, and you know, it got to just my love for music. I would just explore whatever is available to me. A music teacher, I'm a trained teacher. I attended Michael University College in Jamaica, and then Tariff College in the Bahamas, and so I'm trained both in music and history as well as elementary education, where I actually teach here in the United States as well. I'm an ordained music minister. That happened at Word of Life Ministries in the Bahamas, under the pastoralship of Pastor Philip Monroe. And I've been a worship leader for many years in several different ministries. Some that I've worked at as just being a choir director or a vocal coach, or some of them that I've been a member of. Church of God Seventh Day in particular, New Life Worship Center in the Bahamas, and of course my church here in Florida, OFK Ministries.
All righty. Well, I'm going to get back to that. Yes. Thank you for sharing. I have a follow-up question, but before I get to that, I wanted them to hear your voice as a singer, you know, and I want to also, yes, so I would like to share You Can Do It with our audience right now, because I think that's a song that you love. It's a part of the collection that you sent to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Artist Zone. My guest is Patrice Moore, a.k.a. Pat Lamore. Be blessed with You Can Do It.
Thank you.
Many said I never amount to anything. They never had faith in me, said I was a black sheep. And they said I'd never make it to the top. They tried to hold me back, but could not. Greatness was in me. They had to let it be.
You know, because I want to keep the conversation going and the music flowing. Pat, you're versatile man. I'm here just, kind of vibing, going away with things. Very nice. I love it. I love it. Did you write this one?
Yes, ma'am. That's my kind of music. I'm always seeking to motivate others,
Sure. Not only motivate, but you have a vibe. So you can do it, ladies and gentlemen, playing nice and easy in the back there as I continue my discussion with Pat Lamore, Patrice Moore out of Florida. Good evening. Welcome to Artist Zone. If you're just joining me, you haven't missed that much, with the exception that she is a singer, songwriter, musician, music teacher, ordained music minister, and worship leader. And we just found out what she did, how she achieved them all. I wanted to ask you, you said that your dad introduced you to the first 3 chords. The fret was a part of it?
The fret? You said the fret?
Yes.
Oh, of course, you have, the fret is not a chord, but you have the fretboard that you have to hold the chords on.
There you go.
It sounds like you have a little experience.
I have a little,
math.
yes. In my early stage, Glenn Johnson tried to teach me. Somehow I didn't get that, but I was able to learn the principles of the keyboard. So I know a little something. Yes. So can I ask you though? Yes. So as an ordained minister, music minister, can you recall a time when you found yourself in intense worship? And what was that experience like and the setting?
Man, that is I would dare say that intense worship is what I love to do all the time. Like if I'm just singing, when I get into the zone, when I get inside the zone,
right?
And if I'm just singing, it's a waste of time and a waste of energy. I like to, when I'm worshiping, I like to picture being around the throne of God, and I think of the preachers who are bowing, holy, holy, holy. I literally picture it in my mind, and sometimes I cleanse myself before I get into the presence, and I ask God to forgive me and to accept me into His presence.
Amen.
And as I start to worship, I can literally picture in my mind as my spirit bows before the Lord. And this is my ultimate worship experience, when I feel one with the Lord. And I've been there many times, and it's always my desire. Whenever I take the mic, I do it with my might, and I do it as unto the Lord. And this is something that I learned growing up in Church of God Seventh-day from I was a little girl, that it is so important for you to present your body as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto the Lord, because that alone is just your reasonable service, not even above average. It's a reasonable service, and that's what I strive to do. So it's not like a one-time experience. It is something that I strive to experience daily with the Lord.
Wonderful. Now, what is your ultimate goal in above it, encompassing all that you do? Is there that other thing that you have not yet tapped into?
I'm glad you asked that, because that thing that I've not tapped into yet is being able to share this word. I mean, God has given to every man a measure of faith, and all of us have an assignment. But me being able to take the message that the Holy Spirit has given to me, I mean, everybody has their own little assignment and have their word from the Lord. That's one of the dynamic things about our God. But me being able to take the word across the length and breadth of the world is something that I've always dreamed of doing, and is what I'm seeking to do now. And that's why I'm so appreciative of this opportunity to be here, just to say that in the air so that others and the movers and shakers might be able to help me in getting that word out there through music.
Yes.
And using the giftings and abilities that the Lord has given me. So
And-
that is my dream. That's the ultimate aim, to be able to travel and to sing and to just worship and to lead others to Christ through my music.
And has that begun? Have you been getting, invitations and so on?
Certainly, funny enough, over the years, because I've been a teacher for so many years, it's somewhat constricting in terms of being able to just go, get up and go. But whenever I have the opportunity, I get up and go. And I take invitations on the regular. Up to Sunday evening gone, I had to lead do a worship session at a church close by. They invited me. And I go willingly wherever the Lord sends me and wherever invited. I use it as an opportunity to just worship the Lord, and I'm not limited. I don't only do gospel music, and let me just put that out there.
Right.
Because like my song that you heard just now, being an educator, I see it's so important for young people to be influenced in the right way. And I sing songs that just help to motivate them and to point them in the right direction. Just through regular, because there are lots of people who have not yet embraced the Lord, and they go through different situations, and through your love. That's how the Bible says we're going to win them through our love. Through our love. And by reaching out to them, helping them whichever way they can, in the example of Christ, I try to do that in my music.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, Patrice Moore, Pat Lamore, and she's sharing from her heart this evening. I have another selection of yours, a Victory Walk. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy. Sit back, relax, get up, stand up, whatever you'd like to do. Welcome to Artist Zone. Alrighty, and as we're getting that underway, okay, we can start off now.
Walking out in victory, that's the way it ought to be. Walking, yeah, walking, whoa, walking out in victory, walking in the authority, walking, yeah, walking. You know why? We are the children of the Most High. We are peculiar. We hold the heads up high and walk. Yeah. They see us walking and they don't know how. We keep our sanity, we keep our vow, yes. But if they only check it, they would see there is no secret or mystery that we're walking out in victory. That's the way it ought to be. Walking, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're walking out in victory. Walking in the authority.
And I'm doing my victory walk as I'm seated here because I'm having a great discussion this evening with my featured artist, Patrice Moore, aka Pat Lamore out of Florida. So, Pat, let's continue our discussion, shall we? Because we're doing quite well and I'm walking with you as you're going through your journey. I'd like to know about life in St. Catherine, Jamaica. We want to hear your story.
Well, I love to tell my story because I'm always proud of my little neck of the woods. I'm from a little community. I don't know how much of Jamaica you know, but I am from a little community that is called Golden Grove or Golden Valley. And it's not the one in St. Anne that a lot of people know, nor the one in St. Thomas that a lot of people know. This is one small little community in deep rural Guys Hill, St. Catherine.
Okay.
And yes. Yeah, but you know, like them say, we're a little bit more with Tallow. We have some great people who have come from our community as well, musically. And you know, that's how I grew up with. My mom was a school teacher, and I have four siblings, three of which are also teachers. So I'm from a family of educators as well. And you know, that's how I grew up. I grew up from very humble beginnings. I grew up in church, like I said, singing, volunteering, doing whatever I can within my community. You know, that's how I grew up.
And you weren't running through the coffee grove or anything?
All of that.
All of that and
grew
more.
Up very humble, farming and everything. My dad used to raise goats and cows and farming, and I've been there, done all of that up and down through the bushes with Daddy.
Yes,
yes, growing up, feeding off the land, we had lots of fruits and, you know, rich vegetation. Well, to this very day, you know. Up to the last time I was home in Jamaica, I could just go down in the bushes and just pick some tangerine and breadfruit, and you know, that's how I grew up, and I still eat that way to this very day.
Oh, beautiful. We're wrapping up in a few minutes. So we just talked about life in St. Catherine. And finally, what's on your bucket list?
All right. So, bucket list. I'm not sure exactly what's on my bucket list, but I know that I have a number of things that I have set out to do. Like Dr. Miles Monroe used to say, you know, when I go, I want to know that I would have left this earth empty, that I would have used up all the resources that the Lord has given to me to do and have impacted humanity in such a positive way that it will be lasting for generations to come. So I don't have any one bucket list, but I have a number of things I want to. I'm currently working on a project. I have a single that is almost ready to release, and I will let you know as soon as I'm ready to put it out.
That would be nice. Yes.
Yes, and I'm planning. I have a number of other ministers and stuff that I plan on working with. In particular, last night somebody put me on the spot to ask me what about Apostle Thompson.
Oh.
Yes, and I have a concert coming up in New York, if you would permit me to just speak about that for a second. So the 29th of April, I will be at Renovation Church, Plains Road in the Bronx for a concert. And with that note, I just want to big up G-Storm. It will be produced by Leon Elliott of G-Storm Music, and J-Bez and a number of other Jamaican artists will be there to worship and to light a fire.
That's right.
So I'm inviting out everybody here, everybody in Radioland to come out and support us. That's on April 29th. And then right here in Florida, Lady D, I hope you're coming down for this one.
Let's hear it.
This one's going to be mega. This is on May 7th.
May 7th?
Oh. May 7th. Right here in Florida, we will be putting on a mega concert featuring Papa San, Hezekiah Walker, Jocelyn Carr, so many other wonderful artists. I will be there as well with the praise team from OSK Ministries. It's going to be wonderful. And that's what I just want to keep doing for the rest of my life. Lifting up the Lord, singing, lifting up others. That is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I guess that's my bucket list.
That's your bucket list, of course. Great. And I will. Before I leave, there's a gentleman saying, where in St. Catherine is she from? So you want to just tell him again, because you know he's from St. Catherine, so he's asking.
Okay, I'm from a community called Golden Grove. That is close to Guysville and somewhere in between Guysville and Linstead and at the border of St. Mary.
Okay.
So Golden Grove is we're in St. Catherine, but we're close to the St. Mary as well as the St. Anne border. We're very close there.
That should be enough for him. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Pat. But ladies and gentlemen, before we wrap up, Pat, I have a quick quiz for you. So I'd like one-word answers only.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see.
When my guests make an appearance, they have to exit with a bang. You know.
Oh man.
So I have created this little segment after the interview. So let's start off with music.
Listen.
Huh?
No, I'm giving you one word for the word music.
Yes.
Inspiration.
Okay.
Inspirational.
God.
Love.
Teaching.
Passion.
Goals.
Did not hear that one.
Goals, as in goal-oriented. Goals.
Oh. Evolving.
Saint Catherine.
Oh. Beautiful.
Opportunity.
One word. Oh my gosh. Opportunity. Please.
Okay. Michael.
Foundation.
Laughter.
Joy.
Collaboration.
Necessary.
And finally, Patrice Moore.
It's so difficult to find one word.
One word. If not, I'm going to have to charge you.
One word. Patrice Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Love.
All right. See, that's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Patrice Moore, singer, songwriter, musician, teacher, music teacher, ordained minister, and worship leader extraordinaire. And she took us to her heart for God in preparation for her ministry each and every time. She took us to Golden Grove. And we are winding down now with a blessing for you, Patrice, that God will continue to open doors for you, and that as you minister, lives will be touched and transformed. And, you know, Jesus, by his right hand, will say, "Go on, Patrice."
Yeah. Bless God. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much.
All right, you're most welcome. That's a wrap for RT Zone this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And if it's your first time on my YouTube channel and you're not a subscriber, type new in the chat and tap the word subscribe. like, and share. Let's get the numbers up. I'm going places and I'd like to take you along with me. This has been another edition of Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. I'm looking forward to being back next Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. to do it all over again, right here on Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. And so, I'm always appreciative, and I'd like to say thanks to my sponsor, Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. If you're not in our area and you'd like to get your meals, just place a call. They may be able to send it by FedEx. You never know. But if you are in our area, give them a call, 718-324-7484. And when you walk in or when you call, say, hey, I heard your restaurant mentioned on Inside the Zone with that lady. What's her name again? Lady D. That's my name. That's my name. So, I used to walk about when I was a child. I'd visit my friends and we would go out all day after chores done, but I didn't know boundaries. I didn't know time. That after you spend a few hours at people's yard, you need to go home to yours. So I'd be there until late, and then when my family wouldn't be able to find me, they'd have to come look for me. And then when they find me now, they say, Denise, you don't know time for come go home. Go on up, go along up. Well, I'm going to go home now before them start to switch me. And I was a skipper. Them a switch and me a skip. I had such fun as a child. But I'd like to say thanks to everyone tuning in. As always, love yourselves, love your children, and remember in everything, it's the will of God. He knows the very beginning of your life and the end. But until then, enjoy life, love God. Mwah. I'm out of here.
Keep on the fire and light. Oh, yeah. If you win the battle, short, you must fight. Keep on the fire and light. There are many things that we all must face. If we die and fight.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.